Imagine this. You go to someone you love, completely open, vulnerable, and you say, "Something you did really hurt me." And they look at you, calm, almost confused, and say, "You're overreacting. You're too sensitive. I didn't mean it like that." And in that exact moment, something strange happens inside your mind. You freeze. You start questioning yourself. Wait, am I wrong? Am I exaggerating? Maybe I'm the problem. And the worst part, you don't even realize what just happened. If you've ever felt like the most unstable person in your own relationship, pay attention, because the person you love might not be trying to hurt you, but they might still be doing something that slowly breaks your mental clarity. And no, I'm not talking about obvious manipulation. I'm talking about something much more subtle, much more common. Psychology calls it gaslighting, when someone distorts reality until you start doubting yourself. But today, we're not talking about intentional manipulation. We're talking about something even more dangerous, accidental gaslighting. Because here's the truth. Most people don't wake up thinking, "Today I'm going to mess with my partner's mind." But they still do it. Why? Because ego gets involved, pride gets involved, and when someone points out a mistake, it feels like an attack. So instead of listening, you defend yourself. And in that defense, you end up invalidating the person you love. And over time, that person starts shrinking, becomes quieter, less expressive, until one day, they're apologizing for something that wasn't even their fault. So let's talk about the 5 most common phrases that do this. These sound harmless, normal, even innocent, but repeated over time, they slowly destroy relationships. Phase 1. You're overreacting. This is the most common one and the most dangerous, because what you're really saying is, my emotional standard is correct, yours is wrong. You become the judge of what is acceptable to feel. So if the other person feels more than you think they should, they're labeled as too much, and slowly they start suppressing their emotions, not because they healed, but because they don't feel safe expressing them anymore. Phase 2. I was just joking. Now this one is tricky because it comes disguised as humor. Someone says something hurtful about your body, your personality, your decisions, and then waits. If you laugh, fine. If you react, they say, relax. I was just joking. But this isn't humor. It's a test. A test to see how much you tolerate. And if you don't tolerate it, you become the problem. Phase 3. I'm sorry you feel that way. This sounds like an apology, but it's not. It's a way to avoid responsibility. Because instead of saying, I hurt you, you say, you felt hurt. See the difference? One takes ownership. The other transfers blame. A real apology is simple. I'm sorry for what I did. No but, no excuses. Phase 4. I already apologized. This one destroys emotional trust because now you're trying to control how fast the other person heals. But emotional pain doesn't follow your timeline. You might be ready to move on, but the other person is still processing. And when you say, I already apologized, what you're really saying is, I don't want to deal with your feelings anymore. Phase 5. You always, you never. These 2 words kill conversations because they erase reality. Nobody is always wrong. Nobody is never trying. But when you say that, you attack identity, not behavior. And now the conversation is no longer about solving something. It becomes about defending who you are. And here's what happens over time. The relationship doesn't end because of lack of love. It ends because there's no emotional safety. Because you can't exist in a place where your feelings are constantly questioned now. If you're listening and thinking, I do this sometimes. Good, because awareness is where change begins. Step 1, remove the but. I'm sorry, but. No, there is no but. Just say, I'm sorry, I didn't realize how much that hurt you. Step 2, take ownership. Instead of blaming, you made me angry. Say, I lost control. Step 3, validate feelings. You don't need to agree, but you need to respect what the other person feels. Say, I don't see it the same way, but I understand that it hurts you. Words are not small. They are tools. They can heal or destroy. And the way you speak to someone you love reveals how much you actually care, because protecting someone's emotional safety is one of the purest forms of love. Think about that.